Now, the recent European parliamentary election came as a blow to many governments, with both Eurosceptic and right-wing movements making major gains.
These election results matter. They are a wake-up call to Europe.
This is a bad day for the European Union.
This moment we're living through is serious, very serious for France, for Europe.
But the controversy around the election is far from over. Thousands of Europeans who live in a member state other than their own had the chance to vote twice in the elections, and this issue came to light after one newspaper editor confessed on air to doing just that. RT's Peter Oliver investigates.
A German newspaper editor has found himself in hot water with election officials, and that's after Giovanni Di Lorenzo admitted that he'd voted twice in the recent European parliamentary elections. Now, he has citizenship of both Italy and of Germany, and he cast a ballot in both of those countries. Now, to find out how he was able to do this and what it potentially means for democracy here in Europe and the legitimacy of an electoral result, I'm joined by Armin Steinagel from the Democratic Europe Now movement. Thanks very much for speaking to me. How was this able to happen?
Here
in Europe, we have a problem that we don't have just one European right to vote, but rather 28 different rights. That means that every country decides for themselves which parties their MPs in the EU Parliament will come from. Every nation has its own voter registration procedure, and that leads to the situation that if you have citizenship of one country but residency in another, you can vote twice, even though it is not allowed.
But what does this mean for democracy in Europe? It makes a bit of a mockery of the one person, one vote system, doesn't it?
Yes, it is true. This is not really a good voting system for the European Parliament, so we have to reform this law. We need to take these 28 different laws and bring them together into one. That way we will have one standard law on how to calculate the vote results and one universal voters registration system.
What's the potential worst-case scenario, though, in this situation?
The legitimacy of today's EU Parliament is not in question, but if, let's say, 1 million or 2 million people could manage to vote twice in the future, then the EU Parliament will lose its legitimacy.
Thank you very much for talking to me. Now, Mr. Di Lorenzo says that he didn't do this intentionally, that he didn't realise that he wasn't able to vote in both countries. But it is being taken rather seriously. The potential maximum sentence he could face could be as much as 5 years in prison or a very hefty fine. So it'll be something we'll be keeping an eye on as it develops from here in Germany.